You're killing me.
Here we go. Welcome back to the second segment of the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show. We just kicking it live, man, as this music refuses to die down. I'm going to have to make it die down, Mike. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we are back for the
crash
second
segment.
And burned. It's still
playing. Fucking nosedive. Shoot it.
Oh, my goodness.
Put it out of its misery.
It would not stop. I didn't understand it. It's still going. I can still hear it in the background. Okay, we need to get rid of that. All right, just in case you guys missed it in the first segment, we did talk about the firing of Rob Thompson. Of course, Mike has the inside track on that, as you can tell. He is in Philly, and he has the old Vet Stadium behind him. And
filthy in Philly.
Yeah, that's where you used to throw batteries on the field, right?
Not
batteries.
Batteries. Some of these low lives. I'll leave it at that.
Oh my gosh!
I know we're on the Christian network, so
that's right. I'm so glad you.
I got to wear my halo.
Right. I'm so glad that you remembered that, because I know there were times where you did not remember that, and we had to reel some stuff in. But anyway, we also talked about we paid homage to Phil Garner, old
Scrap Iron.
Yes,
Scrap Iron and second.
Old Scrap Iron himself, and Garrett Anderson, who passed away as well. So we're gonna pick up with Garrett Anderson here in just a second. This second segment, it is being brought to you by the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Thank you from us for the last 14 years. You've been supporting the BGC Sports Network, and for the last 8 years, the BGC Sports Network too. So from all of us to all of you, we want to say thank you as we look forward to the future and beyond. Question. When he says the future and beyond, what do you think he means by that?
Who?
Whoever wrote that.
Just the future and how far beyond goes. I don't know. Beyond the future. May the fourth be with you.
Yeah.
Well, it's
speaking of that, that just came out, right? Another Star Wars.
Nah, they always just say on May 4th, let the fourth be with you.
Let the fourth be with you. All right.
May the force be with you, in Star Wars.
Exactly. All right. So technology is doing its thing again. For some reason, we have not been able to connect to Twitter, and I've been trying to for the last few seconds, and it seems as though it may be getting ready to work, but just in case that it doesn't, thank you guys for checking us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram TV, and I do believe that we are now on Twitter. Or maybe not. I don't know what's going on with the technology, but be that as it may, we're gonna continue on. All right, Big Day. Yeah. So before we get back, let's go ahead and get back to Garrett Anderson. We were talking about how he was one of just many great players that we feel as though they don't get as much credit or as much love as they deserve. Mm-hmm. He had a very good career at the dish, and I think he had a career batting average of like 293, 287 home runs, over 1,300 RBIs. Yeah. And he led the league in doubles back in 2002, that year they went to the World Series. He had a career high in doubles at 59, I think it was, or 56. And that year, he actually finished 4th in the American League MVP balloting. I didn't even remember that until until we were getting ready for the show. I'm like, oh yeah, that dude had a great season that year. And it's understandable why the Angels, it did end up winning the World Series that year.
All right. I mean, Mike Fuji was the manager, and they had some pretty good players on that team when they beat the Giants.
Yeah, they did. And the Giants,
Dusty Baker.
That team was loaded too with Barry Bonds and others. I think Jeff Kent was in that squad too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Matt Williams. Was Posey on that squad? Yep. No, Posey wasn't on that squad. That's before Posey.
Tim, what was his name? That pitcher. Tim Lincecum.
Yeah. Yes. The freak.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get on to the rest of the part of the show, for the last several episodes, we've been doing, I don't know, movies, baseball characters, all that. Yeah. But I decided to switch it up this time for Mike. And this time we're going to talk about old school stadiums. And I think there may be a sound for that. And if there is, it's going to be played right now.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
There's nothing wrong with wishing that we were a kid again, right?
Nah, Toys R Us kid. It was even better.
All right, so we're going to talk about 4 stadiums from the old school.
Is one behind me included?
No, I didn't put the vet on there because I knew you would have chosen the vet. And I had a feeling that the vet would be behind you when we did this. So I did not include the vet, but I did include this one. Do you know what that one is?
I don't see it.
You don't see it.
It's either Riverfront or Three Rivers.
That is Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The confluence.
Says it up here too in this little.
Yeah, up here. You see that?
Yeah. It says Three Rivers Stadium. It stops at the I. You cut the UM off.
Yeah. So here you have the Allegheny.
No, that's Riverfront.
No, that's Three Rivers. Look.
It is.
Yeah, because
right here.
Cincinnati doesn't have these 2 rivers like this.
No, so this is called River. It was Riverfront Stadium.
This is the Allegheny. This is the Monongahela. And then back here is the Ohio. So the Ohio actually converges into those. So we have Three River Stadium there. Mm-hmm. And we also have, let's get rid of that one and put another one up. We also have, whoops, wait a second. Take that down. Stop that one. We're going to put up another one. Nope, not that. We're going to put up, come on, producer. I'm going to have to fire you, producer, if you don't get your stuff straight. All right, here's another one. And this one is, wait a minute.
Astrodome.
Oh, nope. Guess again.
The one in Minnesota, the Metro.
Nope. Guess again.
Kingdome, Seattle.
The Kingdome, that's right. The Kingdome were the Seattle. Actually, this was a venue for 3 different franchises: the Seahawks, the Mariners, the Seattle
Supersonics, right?
Right. So that was the triple hitter right there.
Right.
So we got 2 more, right? And I think for these last 2, this is a good one right here. And I know you're gonna hate it, but that's the one. That's the reason why I put it up there. Which one is that?
Oakland.
No.
Candlestick Park.
Nope.
Jack Murphy.
That is Shea Stadium in Flushing. Yeah.
Flushing.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
yeah, you can say that. And for everybody that will be ultimately listening to the show on the weekend,
it's where the Mutts played.
Yeah, where the Mutts play. So what we're doing is we're talking about old school stadiums, and we're on 3 or 4. The first one was the second one was the Kingdome. The first one was Three River Stadium. Here we have Shea Stadium in New York, in Queens. And then the last, but not the least, and I think this one right here might be the winner. And the reason why I say that is because of the city. This city is so much of a sports town. It's really considered one of the great sports towns in America. And I had a debate about that. No, it's not Philadelphia.
Bush.
Yes, that is the old Bush Stadium, where the Cardinals played in St. Louis. You can see the St. Louis Arch. We actually went up in that thing, Mike, a few years ago. Back in 2000.
You can go up there.
Right. You can actually take an elevator. So if you see this part, if you can see this part, I'm trying to circle here at the top. That's where we were. So you take an elevator from here and it goes up, and then it stops, and then you can actually get out and look out over this side of the city, and then look over that way as well. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Isn't that like the midway between the east and the west?
They consider St. Louis the gateway to the west.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. All right. So again, this is what we call our this is what we call our this.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Yeah, really wish I was a kid again. So, Mike, which one of these old school stadiums are we bringing back to life?
No. I don't know. I'd say the Kingdome.
The Kingdome? I like the Kingdome, other than the fact that
never there, but
I like the Kingdome's choice, but the fact that the carpet there was it drew comparisons to what it was like at the Vet.
Well, I mean, Cincinnati, Three Rivers, the Vet. One was the Cookie Cutter Stadium.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to go with Three Rivers Stadium simply because of not necessarily the venue itself, but how it was situated in the city. And the name Three Rivers Stadium for me is one of the dopest names a stadium could have.
I've been to PNC Park.
And
I've been to where the Steelers play, which they play
Stadium.
Well, Heinz Field, but what I remember. They're side by side.
Yeah,
that's kind of like Camden Yards and M&T Bank in Baltimore. They're side by side.
Yeah, I actually have seen both of those stadiums. Haven't been on the inside of them, but
beautiful.
Yeah,
been to M&T Bank about 3 times. Been to Camden Yards about a half dozen.
Oh, okay, sweet. That's on my.
I was at Shea Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I was like sitting on each other's laps. That's how tight the seats were. No, you couldn't. The seats were like that big. Oh,
yeah. And the reason why we chose these stadiums is because they play football and basketball there at these venues. And aside from the Kingdome, they play basketball, football, and baseball there.
Yeah.
And it was the thing to do back then when franchises were trying to get venues. It was like a share between the football and the baseball franchises.
Well, I remember the Pistons played at the Pontiac Silverdome for a period.
That they did. Now they play at Little Caesars Arena in downtown Detroit. Right. But and the last standing stadium that has that multi-purpose ability is the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. And now the only team that plays there is the some soccer club that's out there in Oakland. And I think they play pickleball there too. So all right. Are
they going to keep that stadium around, or they?
Yeah, I think they're going to keep it around. They may be hoping for something in the future, but the way that Oakland is right now.
Right.
I mean, it's improving, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done in Oakland for real.
Right.
All right, let's move on to the week that was. After firing Thompson, the field seemed to have been rejuvenated. We know that they and the A's are embroiled in a midweek series in Philly. But talk about the last week for the Phillies, Mike.
No, Phillies won since Donnie Baseball took over. They won 7 out of 8. So, it was a shot in the arm, and Don Mattingly taking over. This team really has no choice but to buy into what he's selling. He's already been a proven manager. He's had winning records everywhere he went. Miami, the Dodgers. I think, plus I forget the name of it. I think his son's name's Lucas. But he's the head of the minor league scouting department for the Phillies. So
let me ask you this. Have you noticed a change in the players' energy since the change of the manager?
Well, Harper had 2 home runs last night. He brought Bryson Stott's call fire.
Yep.
What's his name? Brandon Marsh is called fire. I mean, Schwarber's got like 11 or 12 home runs. Zach Wheeler just came back. So, Sanchez pitched a great game, went like 8 1/3 last night. And Duran came in and shut the door. But, Nola finally pitched a good game Monday night without giving up any gopher balls for once. 1-6 inning.
So does that mean that Nola is back in your good graces?
Not really.
It's going to take a little bit more than that.
Jesus Luzardo's been lights out.
Yeah.
In 2 starts.
It just goes to show you that when we see teams, whether it's no matter what sport it's in, right? We see these franchises make these changes at the top. We don't necessarily see that from a team that has, I shouldn't say necessarily because we do see it, but it's not very common for a team to replace a manager that has as much talent that the Phillies do have. And the fact that their manager, that Thompson, was fairly successful in his tenure there. So sometimes it just takes a jolt to get those stars back going. And especially if his voice wasn't reaching them, and he wasn't able to motivate them like they need to be motivated or get them ready like they need to be gotten ready, then I can see it.
It was the same. It was the same thing, and it's no excuse.
Yeah.
People say, hey, I'm sure the guy's a very nice man, a great human. That ain't if you ain't putting Dobbs in the win column.
None of that matters.
No,
none of that matters. All right, Mike, we're up against the break. We'll let you catch that last thought on the other side. So y'all come on back. Willie Epting Jr. not ShakeBack Sports Show. That's Saturday and Sunday. #Brothers Baseball Show. Mike Fuji, big day. Y'all come back and holler at us. Oh, we're gonna mute our mics too and turn off our cams. So we'll be right back.
Ladies, life can get overwhelming, but you don't have to navigate it alone. At Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions, we specialize in helping women like you to regain clarity, confidence, and control. I'm Patrice Epting, a certified life coach, here to walk alongside you through life's toughest moments. Whether it's relationships, mental health, or building a stronger mindset, together we'll create a plan tailored just for you to step into your best self. Take the first step today. Visit Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions by calling for your free consultation at 469-358-5241. You're strong, capable, and deserving of the life you dream of. Let's make it happen together. Visit Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions by calling for your free consultation at 469-358-5241. 888-358-5241. Whether it's relationships, mental health, or building a stronger mindset, visit Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions by calling for your free consultation at 469-358-5241. Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions. Are you feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure of your next step in life? It's time to take charge with Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions. I'm Patrice Epting, and alongside Willie, we're certified life coaches here to guide you through life's toughest challenges.
Whether it's mental health, relationships, or shifts in mindset, we'll help you discover your purpose and move forward with confidence.
Life doesn't have to hold you back. Take the leap with Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions.
Schedule your free consultation today by calling 469-358-5241.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of
the old
Dan's
Roger
Fever.
Thomas from. This is Roger Thomas from What's Happening.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of Dan's Fever. Also known as the hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show.
like Eddie Murphy and Roll when he was on the phone with his dad, he said, "You're in a club with Danny Terrio."
Right. And we just having some fun, y'all. Don't mind us. Anyway, just in case you missed it in the second segment, we wrapped up to talk about the late, great Garrett Anderson. Of course, he passed away.
I'm sorry, I wasn't. No, you had me thinking of. Never mind.
Okay.
Didn't mean to laugh.
Do you need to mute? Do you need to mute for a second?
No, I'm good.
Okay, you sure? All right, so we were talking about Garrett Anderson, and of course, Mike is not laughing at the fact that he passed away. He's laughing at something that I guess you had to be there. And then we started talking about the week that was. We were talking about the Phillies. We're going to pick up there here in just a second. This third and final segment, it is being brought to you by us. And we are the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Now is your chance to continue to support the BGC Sports Network. And we're introducing the My BGC merch store where you can purchase authentic BGC merch like our coffee mugs, the overhyped, unofficial, and slightly censored t-shirts, BGC desk mat, as well as so many other things. Go to the merch page, bgcsports.net, place your order today because you know why? The BGC merch is waiting on you. Okay, back to the week that was. We're talking about Philadelphia, and of course, we have a civil war going on within the hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show because the Phillies and the A's will have played a midweek series. And Mike was talking about how the energy amongst the players has changed since the change was made from Rob Thompson to Don Mattingly. So one last question. Do you think this is going to be enough to inject enough energy to get the Phillies back to their winning ways and will ultimately try to catch the Atlanta Braves?
I think so. I mean, but baseball's. Yeah, I love the move. I mean, when they brought Don Mattingly in, it was being kicked around. I love the move because I don't want to say it was the writing on the wall for Thompson, but like I said, Donnie baseball's won every. He hasn't won a World Series, unfortunately, but he's has a great winning record. Yeah, great winning record and a great winning percentage in baseball, where he's managed.
And maybe just maybe this time would be a little different for Donnie baseball because of the experience that he has with the Dodgers and with the Marlins, and he's older, of course.
Right.
And this team is
65.
this team is very good. So there could be some lessons that Don has learned from his past stops. Not to say that he was a bad manager, but just a manager that now has enough to get over the top and get the Phillies over the hump. They've got a big hill to climb because the Braves don't look like they're slowing down whatsoever.
I'm not saying, hey, you got to catch Atlanta and be nice, but hey, as long as you get a clinch a wild card berth and you get in the playoffs, you don't have to win the division. It's already been proven that doesn't guarantee nothing. Get in the playoffs and it's a totally different animal.
Mm-hmm.
Playoff baseball,
especially in those 5-game series. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Right.
Because you can throw your ace out there at least twice in a 5-game series.
And you really need your top 2 or 3 starters if you need to go, 3 or 4.
Yeah, or they can come out of the pen. We've seen that before as well.
Right.
All right. For my A's, the A's we find ourselves at the top of the American League West as the only team as of tape time with a winning record in that division. Hooray and kudos to Nick Kurtz and Lawrence Butler, who had a decent game the other night. I think he went yard maybe once, or he went yard once for sure. And I know he has some stellar defensive players. Those guys are still hitting below the Mendoza line, but when the rest of the division is as bad as it is, and we can just keep doing what we're doing, then I think we will be okay. The A's were one of those teams that a lot of people said this is a team that could make the playoffs this year.
Well, why not? They got some young talent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it'll be better once they get settled in Vegas in another year or 2.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though, man. I really hate that we traded Mason Miller to the San Diego Padres. I saw a stat about that dude. I want to say it was last week. As a matter of fact, I think I still have it. And while I look for it, this guy has continued to prove why he is the best closer in the game. Okay, here it is. So I think this was up until maybe last week or so. Mm-hmm. By the time that this came out, he had pitched 11 1/3 innings, 27 strikeouts, a 0.00 ERA, and 8 saves. You talk about efficiency. And we traded that guy.
At the deadline last year, even.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to get for him, but
we'll see.
It's crazy. All right, let's get to the power rankings. It is the first one of the year, Big Day. So if you don't mind, go ahead and hit the music in the background. Only Mike and I can hear it as you play it right now, but it's okay. So let's go ahead and get done. Get these power rankings in first of the year. Top 5 in the American League, top 5 in the National League. We have just a bit outside in both leagues, and then we have top 10 in the majors. First one of the year. Mike, would you like to debut your list for this first time this year?
Sure. American League or National League?
It's up to you. You
all right,
choose.
I'll go with the home court, the National League on this side of the MLB.
All right.
I got the Braves, Dodgers, Cubs, Padres, and Reds.
Do you see what I see?
No.
I think you copied off my paper.
I looked in your window. Not literally. I'm all the way in Philly.
Yeah, I was just looking behind me to see if there's a camera implanted back there somewhere.
Is.
That's crazy. So you have the Braves, the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Padres, and the Reds.
Yeah.
I have the exact same thing. The Braves, the Dodgers.
Great minds think alike. What can we say?
The Braves, the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Padres, and the Reds. Now, the Reds, I want to talk a little bit about them. I don't know if you saw it the other day, but they were playing in Pittsburgh. And they were getting beat so bad that they had to use my big homie as one of the relief pitchers, Jose Trevino.
You know him, right?
Yeah. And I meant to text him to ask him how much fun he was having because he had this big old smile on his face.
Right.
But he was up there throwing lollipops, and he was getting some folks out. He got dinged around a little bit, but at that point of the game, it was a wash. All right, again, so we both have Atlanta, the Dodgers, Chicago Cubs, the Padres, and the Reds. Do you have a just a bit outside?
Yeah, the Phillies.
Okay.
Oh, cool. 7 out of 8.
Just a bit outside. Hashtag Jabo for the National League. For me, I have all of the National League Central. Every single team that's there, with the exception, of course, the Cubs and Reds, because they're in the top 5. But Pittsburgh, St. Louis, they could make a case. St. Louis could actually make a case for being in the top 5 in a lot of people's estimations. But anyway, that's what it is. So again, he has the Phillies. I have all of the National League Central. All right, let's swing it to the American League. Go. Top 10 in the AL. What you got?
Yankees, Rays, Guardians, Tigers, A's.
Guardians?
Yeah.
Guardians? Say it again. Okay, repeat it.
No, wait. I'm sorry. Yankees, Rays, Guardians, Tigers, A's.
Same team, just different order. Okay, I have the Yankees, and it's the Yankees and everybody else right now. Although I shouldn't really say that because the Rays are playing some really good ball, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Rays actually won the last series between themselves and the Yankees. So the Yankees, the Rays, the A's, Detroit, and Kansas City. And Detroit could be in some trouble because the word came out that Tarek Skubal is going to be on the IL for some elbow inflammation. So let's keep our fingers crossed that dude does not need Tommy John surgery. And obviously we'll miss the remainder of the year and probably a good part of next year as well. All right. Do you have a just a bit outside in the American League?
Yes. The Blue Jays and the Mariners.
Okay. I got all of the American League Central. Even though they're all, I mean, that division is so horribly bad that I am picking every team in there because from the top to the bottom, they're only separated by like a game and a half.
Oh, yeah, it's a log jam.
Yeah, and it's a losing log jam because none of them have a above 500 record.
I know.
Yeah. All right, top 10 in the majors. Go, Mike.
Braves, Yankees, Dodgers, Cubs, Padres, Rays, Reds, Brewers, Cardinals, and Pirates.
One more time.
Braves, Yankees, Dodgers, Cubs, Padres, Rays, Brewers, Cardinals, and I meant to put the Guardians in there and screwed up.
Well, okay. We differ big time on this one. Big Day, I got top 10 in the majors. I got the Yankees, the Braves, the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Rays, the Padres. Wait a minute. Braves, Rays, and Padres, and A's. Okay. So again, Yankees, Braves, Dodgers, Cubs, Rays, Padres, Reds, A's, Tigers, Royals. That's my top 10. That is the very first power rankings of the 2026 season for Major League Baseball, and we are proud to do it. Okay, we got 2.5 minutes left to go in the show. I wanted to ask you about this potential injury for Tarek Skubal. I think it's going to pretty much solidify or confirm, rather, that his days in Detroit are probably over. Remember, he won the arbitration award back in the hot stove because they did not want to give him the extension. So he won, a record-setting $30-something million in an arbitration case, highest in the history of Major League Baseball. Do we okay? With the Tigers, they're at the top of the division. And if he is able to come back from this injury or this potential injury, do we see the Tigers possibly unloading him at the deadline? Because I think they could get some good pieces for him.
They could. I mean, I think it just depends on where they're sitting in the division or if they're in wild card contention.
Well, as bad as the American League has been up to this point, I mean, they're going to be in play for the division all year round, if you ask me. Even with the division being as bad as it is, and no team, I mean, no team in that division can seems not to be able to win on the road except for the Chicago White Sox. So we're going to revisit this as we get closer to the deadline, because that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on.
Going to monitor that pretty closely.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think that the Tigers window, even though they got some great guys out there, Austin Green, Spencer Torkelson, Javi Baez is even having a pretty good season.
McGonigal, the rookie.
Yeah.
They picked up Framber Valdez.
Framber Valdez. Yeah. But that's the thing with the Tigers. I think they have too many left-handers in their starting rotation.
No, I mean, with Verlander's on the IL too, so whatever he has left.
Yeah.
He's pretty much cooked.
Yeah, Verlander probably should hang him up after this season. So that's what it is there. It's an interesting topic. It's an interesting story.
Yeah.
Because Detroit has been very good for the last few years. And when AJ Hinch took over, that team was one of the doormats. They have made significant improvements. All right, Mike, that is the end of the show. So we got to get out of here. Up next, the homies from Empire Sports. That is Greg Hyman and his crew. And he's mad at me right now because we beaten him for the #1 show for the last 2 months. But anyway, I'm gonna tell y'all to check them out anyway, because they got some good stuff. For the dopest engineer in the game, Big Day. For my main man, Mike. This is Willie. Y'all stay safe. Y'all hug each other. Y'all love each other. I promise it's gonna be all right. And we'll holler at y'all again real soon. Peace. We out.